So, I want to tell a brief story today, much like one I might tell the two boys you see in front of you. Once upon a time, there was a young man. Let's call him Greg. Now, Greg was a lucky man, and he had a wife who loved him very, very much. And for his birthday, she bought him a shiny new MP3 player. He opened it and, bewildered and daunted, found it completely devoid of content. "Oh no," he said. "How ever will I fill all this drive space?" And so, Greg set out to find himself something to listen to. Now, Greg was already an RSS junkie. He loved his blog lines, this being 2004 and all, well before the days of Google Reader. And thanks to his RSS feeds, Greg caught wind of something called podcasting. "You mean I can subscribe to and auto-magically receive audio content just like I get my text feeds? Oh, joyous day," he said. And so, Greg set out to find the very bestest content he could find. Greg explored. He explored site after site. He explored directory after directory. And soon, Greg discovered that, much like blogging, podcasting put the power of content creation in the hands of just about anyone. So as Greg discovered more and more niche content covering hundreds of special interests, a feeling of emptiness washed over him. Where were the librarians? And where were the libraries? Disconcerted by the realization that there was no librarianly content available for his consumption, Greg set out to generate some of his own. And thus, OpenStax, the podcast, was born.
First thing I want to say about podcasts in general is that you do not need an iPod to listen to a podcast. You are free to download this MP3 directly and listen to it in the media player of your choice.
Sounds like a smart guy, that Greg. But despite his obvious intelligence, Greg never did achieve the financial security or world domination that he was looking for. He did find some pretty mediocre clip art, though, and a fantastic forum in which to share it. And fortunately, Greg wasn't the only librarian interested in this new technology. As other librarians became aware of the possibilities, more and more podcasts came into being. What he would see in the following months and years would take him far beyond his own imagination. Come along and listen for yourself. Greg saw libraries use podcasting to promote programs and reach audiences across the globe.
Thursday, February 21st, Medal of Honor with Ed Tracy returns with a one-on-one interview with Vietnam War Medal of Honor recipient Brian M. Thacker.
He saw libraries teach their patrons, exposing them to resources and concepts of information literacy.
Trying to figure out what charity is best to donate your money or time to, or trying to understand the financials for a not-for-profit organization, there are some free websites which may help.
He saw libraries promote the arts, and in particular local artists, supporting both literacy and their service communities in the process.
In the shallow end of the blue pool, I am learning how to breathe after years of suffocating and not knowing it.
He saw libraries telling all sorts of fun stories, just like this one.
Found a map. That's where home is, and here's where I am. But there isn't a train until 3:45, thought Small Bear. He thought a bit more, and then...
And he saw libraries that let their patrons be part of the content creation process, turning a typically one-way information stream into something more, transforming their patrons from information consumers into information producers.
You are listening to Teens Online broadcast created by
Hennepin County Library.
teen volunteers. When you think about renting movies, Blockbuster and Hollywood Video come to mind. But did you know that you can borrow movies at the library? Here's a list of my favorite movies that you can find at your local library.
He even saw librarians shamelessly promote their own projects on conference stages. But despite this, he also saw librarians coming together to have fantastic conversations about their profession.
I just think you're overanalyzing it. She was giving a talk, she was brainstorming ideas and saying, hey, librarians, here's some ideas. She wasn't telling anybody they had to do this. She wasn't establishing any unfunded mandates. She was saying, here's a bunch of ideas. How about y'all talk about them?
The collection of libraries and librarians engaged in podcasting would prove impressive indeed. No library seemed too big or too small to try their hand at this emerging communication strategy. A little creativity and resourcefulness appeared to be the main ingredients. And so Greg, smart cookie that he was, wanted to know, are people listening? And if this report from emarketer.com is any indication, they are, and in ever-increasing numbers. And so today, Greg can rest easily, knowing that libraries and librarians around the world have seized the opportunity to generate meaningful content for their patrons and for the greater information professional community. And he hopes you'll consider joining them. Thank you very much.